Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rika Hoirunisa. You can call me Rika, and I am class 6B at STKIP Setiabudi Rangkas Bitung. And now I wanna present about the teacher's roles in a student-centered audio-video speak by Zibong Lu, Zhou Huang, and Johnson. Okay, the first is introduction. With the rapid development of information technology, computer-assisted language teaching has been widely applied in college English teaching in China. The teaching model has changed from a traditional teacher-centered pattern to a student-centered, multidimensional model which aims to develop student integrative language ability. This has occurred after the long-term practice of using different teaching approaches: grammar translation method, the direct method, the audiolingual method, the cognitive approach, to a modern general acceptance of communicative language teaching, or CLT, an interactive teaching method. Okay, there are several of literature review. The first is research on the interactive language teaching model in call environment. For many years, teachers had adopted audiolingual pattern drills to teach speaking. Later, the realization that infants acquire their first language and that adults acquire a second language by interacting with others fostered the emergence of CLT, which advocates that lessons should consist of opportunities to communicate in the target language. The second is learner-centered classroom and teacher-centered classroom. The emergence of the needs-based teaching approach of CLT reinforced another trend that was emerging at the time, that of learner-centered education. According to Dunant, learner-centered classroom is one in which learners are actively involved in their own learning process. And the last is research on the teacher's roles. Scholars never cease researching the teacher's roles, right? Point out that teachers essentially have two major roles in the classroom. One is to create the condition under which learning can take place, the social side of teaching. One is to impart by a variety of means knowledge to the learners, the task-oriented side of teaching. Okay, the next is, in the traditional teacher-centered class, the teacher is the leader and the instructor. The result of the study, however, indicate that teachers' roles need to be multidimensional. The first is activity designer or organizer. This role runs throughout the whole teaching process. The second is coordinator. Teacher should work as a coordinator to adjust the pace of teaching. The third is source of background information. Teachers should provide abundant knowledge of culture and language to broaden students' horizons and to enrich their knowledge structures. And the last is assessor. Teachers should make prompt assessment on student language proficiency and collect their feedback about learning and teaching to ensure the quality of the teaching process and give information for further improvement, improvement to both the teacher and the student. And in this article, there are limitations, however, there are some limitations in this study. The first is each teaching process lasts only for one semester and all students are non-English major juniors from the author's university. And only one teacher's performance is counted in the research. It is suggested that samples should be selected more widely and more teachers' performance should be observed in future studies. The second is the conversation and discussion in the two tests were recorded in a natural communicative environment. All the activities were given fixed topics, which imposed negative impacts on some student performance. The third is no further study was done on the influence of student after class learning, motivation, and learning strategies. The last is no study has been done on the teacher's role changing in other English courses. Okay, that's all, and thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.